Hi, I'm IG, the internet's #1 magical cupid, and welcome to Passion Portraits, the talk show where I interview a friend about their interests while I draw them. This is an edited down version of a 4-hour-long talk show I streamed on twitch.tv. If you're interested in seeing the full conversation, please go check out my VODs channel. Now, without further ado, let's introduce our guest. Ace, can you please introduce yourself?
I certainly can. Hi, I'm Acerola VR. I'm a Foxplay VTuber, variety streamer, and electronics builder. Just got my start playing Beat Saber on Twitch before transitioning to playing other games. And a lot of what I do now is design and build electronics on stream. Right now, I'm mostly working on SlimeVR trackers, full-body trackers for VR and for VTubing, and microphones.
Just like last time, I'm going to start with the general passion question. Currently, what is your biggest passion? What are you the most passionate about?
Right now, still electronics, I think. I've been having a lot of fun designing and building circuits and just improving my craft there. It's been interesting thinking about the progression of my design for SlimeVR trackers, SlimeVR compatible trackers, where it started off I was just building someone else's design, hand wiring them, and I found out you can actually get like custom circuits built really cheap and import them. So that saved on the hand wiring, and I was using other people's designs for that still. And where it really like sort of took off, and actually, yeah, I have a education in computer engineering, and a good bit of that was electronics design. Is being able to, uncover that and relearn circuit stuff and how that works. So I made a design that was a carrier board. It essentially just used like off-the-shelf parts that I just need to connect to power. I need to connect data, and then that was that. And I was hand building those for a while. I made my own design for that, a Sex V1, before making a hybrid design that actually implements the actual passive components and integrated circuits to the PCB directly.
I was in your stream a little bit ago, watching you do a little bit of electronic stuff. I'm always happy whenever I get the chance to listen, just watch you work on electronic stuff, because it's just so cool.
I hope that it has the same appeal as the art, because when I watch you do art, I'm like, this is really cool. And maybe it's the same sense of I don't get it. I don't understand all the brain work and dexterity that goes into how you're apparently going to accomplish this sketch in 6 minutes.
I'm going to try my best. When it comes to you doing your circuitry and Ani doing music production, I love just watching people do the stuff that they're interested in, which is a big part of the inspiration for Passion Portraits in the first place. Is just tell me all about the stuff that you're super into. I want to know everything. It's really fun to just figure things out about people, what they're interested in. So I definitely the thing you said about it's probably art. I think that's a very good hypothesis.
It's really cool how people filter their interests and are able to develop their interests through streaming and VTubing. Because I have to say, I would not be as into electronics design if not for me being in the space and seeing how what I make intersects with streaming.
I've been talking a lot about how I want to get into 3D modeling, and the tech behind 3D modeling is also a part of that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if subconsciously you had some sort of impact on the fact that I want to go and learn how to be 3D model.
I mean, if that's the case, number one, you're going to be way better than me very quickly. I'm not much of a 3D modeler. I've played around with it, and I've done my own model edits, the clothes and the ears I added to the model myself. And I mean, that's how I got my start. I started as a flesh tuber, as they say. Actually, real quick, flesh tuber or meat tuber? Which one do you think describes people that use a camera more?
I think flesh tuber fits a little bit better than meat tuber.
I think so, and a little less disconcerting.
Yeah,
remember the hand.
Yes, I'm gonna remember the hand this time. I'm just copy and pasting.
Yes.
No, I won't. I'm gonna forget about it. Speaking of VTubing, though, that's a wonderful segue into the next part. I guess, yeah, you can start by telling the story of how you started and got into VTubing, and then we can go from there, because it's a good baseline for everybody to have.
Yeah. So the month of April, this is my 4-year streaming anniversary. It feels weird to say that because I've been on and off, especially recently. But 4 years ago, I actually got my start playing Beat Saber on stream, but I didn't have a VTuber model or a 3D model at all. I did the mixed reality thing, or just first-person streams, where I use an Xbox Kinect with the depth sensor to remove the background. Most people, if you want a really good setup, will green screen their entire space in order to chroma key out the background and then impose themselves in the game. There's a streamer that I collabed with, Miss Honey Peaches. She painted an entire room of their house green.
Oh, that's crazy.
green floor mats, painted the walls green, painted the doors green, and it looks really good. It's a very like slick setup for mixed reality. But I'm not that hardcore. I just have my bedroom. I don't want to paint my bedroom all green. But into VTubing, about a year later is when SlimeVR kind of started to pop off, where the project got a lot of money and people were, building their own trackers. During COVID, getting electronics was very hard, and they were heavily delayed in the shipping out the official units. So I built my own slime trackers. I'm like, well, I have the slime trackers. I ought to have a model, right?
Right.
So a friend who made V-Ray models made a Catboy made model for me, actually. Like they were like a Catboy initially. Yeah, that's when I really felt like, okay, I can step into this, right? And that's when I started to make my own model, Acerola V1, and the ball kept rolling from there. Like just basic V-Ray model into adding like features like ears and tails, into adding outfits and learning a lot about like 3D in the process. So it's always been like an intersection of, I have this interest of, I want to build stuff, and I have the technology to capture my IRL movements and proportions and put into a model, and that's why I've been really into 3D, because it's like you have the whole body involved.
Right.
It's developed from there.
With the 3D model, you can do so much more with your integration with the real IRL to streaming. I feel like is a lot easier.
I think so.
Yeah.
And that's why I picked 3D as well. Is like there's a whole 2D is really popular and has been popular because to become anime, right? Anime is 2D naturally, and it's really interesting to be able to map your movements to a picture essentially. But 3D is really versatile. Where, like I said, I did Beat Saber in VR, so the 3D model naturally translates to that, and it can. Like, right now, we're using it for flat screen gaming, right, or like flat screen streams. It works for that. It'll work for 3D animations, right? 3D models are very versatile, and being a part-time VTuber where I don't have the money and the time to invest into multiple kinds of models, this made sense for me.
Show off your mechanical
hand
that I'm definitely gonna forget about.
Oh yeah, we're showing it now so you don't forget. Don't ask why this keeps coming up. But yeah, that was sort of a design carryover where, oh wait, it actually makes a lot of thematic sense for me to bring that over.
Wait, that's a perfect segue. That's a perfect segue to one of my questions.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly what you're going to ask next.
What are the inspirations for your design?
Well, let me tell you, it's a mixture of just like being pragmatic and then also, taking design elements from stuff that's important to me. So the coloring on the hair and the eyes is actually the colors they're used in Beat Saber. So blue on the right, red on the left, and then the hair, sort of the purplish indigo, is the background color. So if you've ever watched me play Beat Saber, like it's literally the same hex codes I use for my saber and background color on my model. If you pay attention, especially, and it's something that's clear in the corporate VTubers, that with full 3D body tracking, people have their own body language, right? I was watching Cronies 3D debut, and there were like multiple cronies on screen because they're doing like this little talent show thing. It's cute. And I was like, how do they do that? And the body language, I'm like, they're all crony. They probably did like, the performance capture separately because it's just like you can tell by the way she moves that it's crony. One person's motion in real life can map very differently to different models.
Oh yeah,
with 3D,
for sure.
It's just like it should be really close to 1-to-1, right? If I move my arm a certain way, if the model is at least somewhat proportionally similar to me, it'll move that way. I remember when I started VTubing, one of my friends who knew me for a while, like as a flesh tuber, was like, you just seem more charismatic, like you're more natural, like with your model. So it's simultaneously like I want to capture my IRL like performance and like who I am, but also it can be for a lot of people a way to actually be more authentic. I've never had really big aspirations for VTubing, right? This is kind of a thing I stumbled into, and I've generally had like a really scrappy attitude when it comes to hobbies, where I'll try to get into things as cheaply as I could, and also have like a maker mindset where, hey, if I have the skills to at least learn how to do something, like how I learned electronics design. I remember back in college, I got into stargazing and like astrophotography. With that, you can spend a lot of money on it, but I already had a camera. I 3D printed an adapter to be able to attach the camera to a telescope I got at a thrift shop for $20, and I took a really good picture of the moon. I brought that into VTubing, where I did do a V-Roid model, but I wanted to break past the sort of V-Roid look. So my model is V-Roid, but I feel like I've done things to it that sort of make it look less so, right?
Yeah.
Like with the hair, with the ears, with the learning a bit of Blender and being able to add those things after you export a model is super useful, and you can sort of do that, scrappy. All in, my model probably cost me $60 to make, but a lot of time. Also remember the hands.
Thank you. I know I'm really
we're
bad
getting
at
there.
remembering
Hold on.
things, so in my brain right now it's just rub my head, rub my head,
I-
rub my head, rub my
I
head,
saw
rub
you
my head, rub my
copying
head,
it.
rub
I'm
my
just like, okay, this is just like you're not legit. This is you're gonna swap it out.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I'm gonna remember.
I got you.
Yeah, totally. God damn it! Don't look at this. I didn't draw nails on your robot hand. You didn't see anything.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't see anything.
I thought. I developed my stutter as a bit, and now I stutter like uncontrollably. It's funny it's funny. It's character building, right?
That's crazy. What?
Oh yeah, wait, did I not tell you that? Did I not tell you I developed my stutter as a bit?
I don't think you did.
I would like stutter as like a bit, you know, like the anime boy stutter of like the hey and I would like do that like as a bit, like just for like however long, like until people like stopped stopped thinking it was funny. And then like now I have a genuine stutter that I cannot get rid of, but I'm not trying to get rid of it because it's funny as hell. Maybe they should have it end though.
Borrowing your brain for the bit.
Yeah, I'll do anything for the bit.
Usually people do the other thing where they rewire their brain to like stutter less.
Nah.
But you do the opposite.
Yeah, because it was funny, I guess. If I ever do like a two truths and a lie, I'll usually do like, I developed a stutter as a bit. I was in Japan when the earthquake happened, and
Shook up your brain
yeah,
and your speech.
yeah, that's why I stutter now. It's because the earthquake. Oh yeah, there was an earthquake earlier today. Maybe that's why my brain is not working. It's because I was jostled too hard. There was an earthquake. I didn't feel it. How did you not feel it? It was intense. It was like 5 seconds of that was
moment.
yeah. When I was like deciding whether or not I wanted to interview you for passion portraits, whether or not I was comfortable for you, I definitely stalked your Twitch. Honest to God, I'm not a stalker, but I do it occasionally. I'm a hobbyist stalker. I'm not a professional.
Crazy
yet.
to say. Yeah, that's a crazy brush.
I love it. It's my background brush. So I just like
Real quick picture. Yeah, just tapping. Look at that. Oh, if I wasn't looking at it, I would be like, man, how long did it take you on the background?
4 seconds.
That's witchcraft. You're being put in the
gallows. The gallows. Can I go to the gallows?
Why specifically that?
Huh? Because you said witchcraft, so I'd assume you'd put me in the gallows, like chain.
Bring to the same gallows. Yeah, true, fair.
That doesn't say anything about my character that I want to go in the gallows. I just think it'd be funny.
For the bit, you understand? It's for the bit.
I gave myself
developing a stutter.
I gave myself a stutter for a bit. Yeah, I can go to the gallows for the bit. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything more than that. So we're wrapping up passion portraits. Number 1. What advice would you give to people who are struggling to find their passion?
Cast the wide net and do a lot of research. There's so many cool things that are out there for you to do that if you've not necessarily found what you're passionate about, don't be afraid to bounce around and see what sticks with you because there's just so much out there, right? And it's important for everyone to find what clicks for them and what fulfills them and gives them purpose. And you gotta go out there. You gotta make the leap. You gotta see what sticks.
Exactly. Casting a wide net and doing a lot of different things, I think, is important for everybody. Just to figure out what you want to do. It's what I did. It's how I fell in love with VTubing. And yeah, that's really smart advice. Okay. Finally, my last question. I asked the question because I love it so much. What do you want to be when you grow up? / what is the goal that you're striving for the most?
The electronic stuff in VTubing I've gotten a taste of what my capabilities are, and honestly I would love to do it in a full-time or capacity where like I could be a boy wife to my partner and then do electronics on the side, so I still am developing skills and working to that. And there have been a lot of obstacles, but I want to push and try as hard as I can and do what I can to be able to do that.
Yeah,
because it's some of the best work I've done and the best I've felt, and it would be really cool to have that flexibility of running a small business and working for myself.
I think that's a good goal to have.
Yeah, it's cool, and I've got like I said, I got a taste of I could make it work.
Yeah, if I
tried hard enough, that if I could accomplish what I have done with the time and resources I've had while working full time, it was a dream, and it feels more attainable. But there are obstacles, so we'll
imagine what you could do with more time, right? That's so
cool.
Oh
my gosh,
I'm so excited to see
how powerful I'd be.
I'm so excited to see what you have in store in your future too. so fun to watch you like work on stuff. It's amazing.
You as well. I'm excited to see what you cook up.
I'm so excited for all my different stuff. I wanna be a VTuber when I grow up. I wanna do this full time. I want this to be my life. I love it so much. I've already met so many cool, amazing people, and I want to meet more. And I wanna like just spread the love.
I want you to be my guinea pig for stuff.
Yes, please. I will gladly test for you. I would gladly test for you.
Yes, I'll trade art for.
Rubbing my hands together evilly right now.
And you will be able to rub your hands when I get finger tracking all working.
Oh, so exciting!